Hello everyone, Commish K7 here with your Week 2 recap. A couple things happened this week, a little busy, a little crazy, a lot of moves going on, some big games, and some underperforming teams. So, got a little bit of everything today, so let's get right into it. Alright, pop that up, move me down there. Yeah, there I am. Alright. Start off, we have our scoreboard for Week 2. Whole bunch of things happening. A couple comebacks, couple power shots, and a lot of underperforming. So let's, as you can see, here are the scores for that week, for this week. Not really many low scores won this week. It was pretty consistent in terms of the higher scores. Not really many unlucky breaks or not really any unlucky breaks or overkills. So let's go into the first one. Box score for the newly named Thylene Chubby, formerly Team Treebing, versus Sniper's Edge Darkstalkers, my team. As you can tell, my team did not do as well as it did last week, which is a shame, but gonna do. So the score was Thylene 113.8 to 70.6 for the Darkstalkers. We had take a look at the breakdown. Got a pretty even performance from the quarterbacks. Difference of 0.1 points, 1/10 of a point. Nick Chubb had a much better week this week than last week, so but then again, he did meet expectations. However, Christian McCaffrey on the Darkstalkers did not, which could have salvaged it if they actually ran a decent play on the last play of the game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But oh well. Philip Lindsay, decent score, but slightly underperforming. Same thing with Leonard Fournette, with but a couple more points on that. But then again, Nick Chubb took the most. Up next, wide receivers. Well, not very strong, but a strong enough performance by the combo of Jones and Thylene. Easily took over Keenan Allen's decent performance with Alston Jeffrey's goose egg. Last week it was Kyle Rudolph that got the goose egg. This week it's Jeffrey, thanks to an injury this time. Hopefully he'll be able to recover from it, but I think I have enough to save myself from that. Yep. But so yeah, got the 30-point nuke that he got all in the second half of his game against the Eagles. Jeffrey dropped out in the first quarter. Allen put up a decent performance, though slightly underperforming. Next, tight ends. Evan Engram did not have an explosive week like he did last week, but he did well enough that he almost matched his performance. Kyle Rudolph, however, still seems to not be able to meet any expectations, so that might be time for a change there. Rams defense did pretty good, holding New Orleans to 9 points thanks to an injury. And while the Chargers met expectations, unfortunately giving up 13 points. Oh, why do people keep logging on? I need to turn that off. Kickers, Matt Bryant did not meet expectations, but came close. A lot closer than Mason Crosby, which is kind of surprising, but what are you going to do? Bench warmers. Anything that would have changed it? Well, he could have gotten a slightly better score if he put in Frank Gore or Freeman or White instead of Lindsay. While me, yeah, if I put in Rashad Penny over Christian McCaffrey, I would have gotten a better score, but if anyone would have actually done that, they probably shouldn't be playing fantasy football. Let's see, anything else? Eifert definitely put up a better score than Rudolph, so that might be changing in the future. Henderson, still crap. Corey Davis met. Cohen, still crap. James White met expectations this week in an absolute blowout. Then again, he is against Miami, but oh well. Kirk Cousins failed. Ted Ginn Jr. and Devontae Parker failed. Malcolm Brown as expected of a backup. Chris Conley met expectations, and Nick Foles is on my IR. Shepard and Coleman are on his IRs, and he's the one who was able to snag Jalen Samuels over the weekend before he got hurt. So that, in retrospect, good pickup. All right, but either way, Thailand Chubby took this match 113.8 to 70.6. Next. Parts Unknown the Secchi versus Planet Hulk World Breakers. Let's see. Week 2 Bucks scored. Yeah, okay, that's fine. While the World Breakers did not explode like they did last week, they still put up a very good score, enough to take down a triple-digit score in Parts Unknown. Let's take a look at the box score here. Tom Brady is, after getting Antonio Brown, he's going to be meeting some pretty high numbers every week, so good job there. However, Patrick Mahomes is kind of proven that that last season wasn't a fluke, as he's just racking up the points. Let's take a look at our running backs. It was a pretty even display, though the Secchi took more points there. Though none of them, no running back met expectations there, whether it be Ingram, Thompson, Jacobs, or Mack. Wide receivers. ODB dropped a 30, which put the game a lot closer than it was going into Monday night. But unfortunately, that 30.1 was dwarfed by an explosion from Demarcus Robinson, who was picked up off the waiver wire during the week. Sammy Watkins didn't explode last week, but then again, it seems that he only needs one to explode each week, and with Mahomes, it's going to happen. And this week, it was Robinson's turn instead of Watkins, and he benched Tyreek Hill, which I believe he was listed as out. So then again, that's not really that much of a surprise. And he picked up the backup, and, well, you know, it paid off. Brandon Cooks did a good job. Unfortunately, O.J. Howard, the tight end, did not. He dropped the goose egg compared to Darren Walker's meeting of expectations. Bears defense, decent enough for Planet Hulk. While the Vikings on Secchi met expectations. Harrison Butker, he got the kicker of the Kansas City offensive explosion, but unfortunately, all that means he's just going to be kicking a lot of extra points, which is good for steady points, but not really good when it comes to field goals. Jake Elliott, however, was able to get a couple field goals and an extra point. Unfortunately, wasn't enough. Bench time. See if anything could have made a difference. No. Let's see. Baker Mayfield. Nope. Fitz. Nope. Gallup. Nope. Ebron, yes. Eric Ebron. Someone whose value had plummeted with the loss of Andrew Luck, had a good week this week. At least when it comes to a low-end tight end. Josh Brown, nope, wouldn't. Decent score, wouldn't have cracked the top. Panthers, slightly better. Jamal Williams actually beat his expectation. So that would have been a few more points, though. No addition would have given him enough to break the World Breakers score. Let's see if World Breakers had their best lineup in. If he put in Mostert, he would have beaten him even more. So this actually wasn't his best lineup. Close, but not quite a bit. Let's check out the bench points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 70. 70, so I think that's our high right now. 70 bench points. Not enough to overtake their team, but decent enough. And no. All right. So week 2, Planet Hulk continues. I think he has started a bit of a win streak against Parts Unknown, where World Breakers took it 129.2 to 103.7. Next, Shaggy Sharks against the Metropolis Kryptonite. Shaggy Sharks dominated this match by a triple-digit margin of victory. That is our biggest so far this season, of around 125 points. that one was... That's just not in doubt. I'm not even sure how much I can really go into this because Prescott beat expectations. Bell beat expectations. Kerryon Johnson beat it. Emmanuel Sanders, a waiver wire pickup, beat it. John Ross, a waiver wire pickup, beat it. Travis Kelce, with a crazy projection, got even more points than that. 35 points from the Patriots defense because they were against the Pop Warner team in Miami. And Justin Tucker beat expectations. Every single one of his starters beat expectations, which in a league like this, that's going to be very tough to beat. And he couldn't even put up a fight on this one, unfortunately. So just bad luck facing this onslaught. And unfortunately, while he wasn't able to crack 200, as I said, he does have the highest margin of victory in the season so far. Let's see, Deshaun Watson, nope. That failed. James Conner failed to meet. Joe Mixon failed to meet. Woods failed to meet. Terry McLaurin, a waiver wire pickup, beat the expected score. TJ Hawkinson, a explosion from last week, did not carry over into this week. He got all his points last week. Bills did not meet expectations, but Will Lutz, the New Orleans kicker, took advantage of a downed Drew Brees and was able to kick a few field goals being that he got the only points for his team. With a couple long ones too. Because to get 12 points out of a 9-point score. Yeah. Alright. Let's check out the bench. Guice out. Lockett beat expectations. That would have yeah, if he put him instead of Woods, that would have worked. But kind of moot. Cook didn't meet. Humphreys, nope. Sanu, nope. Deebo Samuel. I believe he was also a waiver wire pickup that exploded this week, but unfortunately he was on the bench. Dorsett met expectations, which Demaryius Thomas was the odd man out for New England, which kind of surprised me. But, oh well. And DJ Chark, a cast-off from my team, actually did good this week. It's between him and Conley. It's basically a co-number one wide receivers between him and Conley. So each week is going to be probably bouncing back and forth between those two players. All right, but even though he could have put in some better players for this week to get a few more a few more points. Yeah, nothing was going to beat that. So Shaggy Sharks 195.1 to Kryptonite 70.7. Next, Team Brooks versus the Columbus Rebels. Team Brooks didn't really have one of the highest scores this week, but it was more than enough to take a victory against the 79.9. With the Team Brooks in the Rude Brood took 104.3 to 79.9's Columbus Rebels. Unfortunately, that's his second loss in a row. That hurts. Let's break it down. Lamar Jackson had another good week with basically crashing into expectations with 33.9. Johnson didn't meet it. Damian Williams didn't meet it, but put up respectable. Amari Cooper met expectations, while Chris Godwin took advantage of Carolina defense that really wasn't doing too great and brought in 27.1 points. Vernon Davis, taking advantage of the Jordan Reed situation, put up a decent back-end tight end score. Seahawks met expectations. Adam Vinatieri he may be on his way out, where he basically just was able to kick one extra point and just wasn't in it. All right, so let's take a look at the Rebels. Unfortunately, Phillip Rivers did not meet expectations. Only one touchdown. Todd Gurley met expectations. Decent enough. Latavius Murray did not, however. Stefan Diggs didn't meet expectations, but respectable. DK Metcalf, I think that's how I pronounce it, put up a good score. He beat expectations. Trey Burton, the tight end for Chicago, did not. I've noticed a trend. A lot of people have been dropping him lately. Granted, the leagues aren't nearly as deep, but maybe a trend to keep an eye out for. Cleveland Browns facing the New York Jets. Definitely beating expectations there. And Robbie Gould beat expectations, but not by much, so I would say he pretty much met it. All right, Any bench players? Any bench players would have improved the score? Let's see. You got the low scores for running backs, so let's see how the running backs did in the bench. David Montgomery would have been a nice improvement. Carlos Hyde, no. Well, slightly better, but not much. Bobby Snell, nope. All right. Quarterback, yeah, no one's beaten Lamar Jackson compared to Kyler Murray. Wide receivers, 14 and 27. I don't think any of his bench players... actually, yeah. Never mind. Mecole Hardman. He was in the scoring parade for Kansas City. So he's spreading points all over the place for his wide receivers. So yeah, Mecole would have been a slight improvement over Cooper, which I don't think anyone would have done. Let's take a look at the Rebels. Anyone could have helped. Trubisky, as bad as low as Rivers got, Trubisky got less. Jarvis Landry of Cleveland. He is definitely the number 2 compared to ODB. That pickup kind of tanked his value a bit. Greg Olsen, however, would have been a great improvement. I called him as a bit of a sleeper this season myself. Especially, it's like after getting hurt, and he's like one of the only people who can catch the ball on Carolina. Even though Cam Newton can't throw it this year, he's basically the safety net. He was his safety net for the short passes. Golden Tate still suspended. Rashad Higgins didn't do too well. Relying on the Cleveland backup core doesn't seem to be working. Devin Singletary, let's take a look. 11.7. That would have been good for her instead of Murray there. Let's see. Crabtree, nope. And Jack Doyle, nope. Well, one improvement. Could have improved the score, but not nearly enough to beat Brooks. So, Team Brooks takes it 104.3 to the Rebels 79.9. Next, Moneymakers Dollar Boys versus Greensburg Honor. I keep saying horror. I'm ready for Halloween already. All right, so we got Moneymakers take this one 103.7 to 81.7, and let's break it down. We'll go the Moneymakers first as per usual because it's on the left. Up next, we got Matt Ryan, slightly beating expectations by enough points to say that he beat it. Dalvin Cook, who's turning out to be he was a first-round pick, but it was a late first-round pick. He's putting up the points that he could have been a top 3. Chris Carson didn't meet expectations, but was easily carried by Cook. Michael Thomas still put up a good game, even though Breeze went down. He put up a lot of yards, but no scores. Jameson Crowder, just underperformed. Delaney Walker just underperformed. The Redskins defense put up a crappy score right there with a -3. That's our lowest point total for an individual this week. Individual meaning team defense. And Kaimi Fairbairn didn't meet expectations but came close. Greensburg time. Ben Roethlisberger went down and therefore put up a really bad score. Damn shame. Sonny Michael kind of was in a bit of a split with White this week, so he met expectations. Can't complain about that too much. Derrick Henry slightly went above expectations, but not by much. Same thing with Devontae Adams, Juju Smith. He's gonna really feel the effects of a loss of Ben. Austin Hooper, just under expectations. Steelers defense couldn't hold it off. Got a 4.5 instead of a 6.6. And Steven Gostkowski, even with that insane score, he only put up 6 points. 6 extra points. So he kicked a lot of extra points, just no field goals. Up next, let's take a look at our bench. Kenyon Drake, not so good. Calvin Ridley, definitely beat expectations there. Him and Julio Jones went crazy over in Philadelphia, especially in that second half. Will Dissly, yep, that is a 22. That's not a 2.2. He had a game he had a career game right there. Eagles defense, even though they lost, they still met expectations. Jacoby Brissett turning out to not be a complete and utter failure in Indianapolis, especially against a Tennessee team that couldn't score a damn thing. Deshaun Hamilton, not so good. Noah Fant, met expectations. So, let's see. If he put in Drake, he could have gotten a 0.1 more. Could have gotten a 10th more points. However, if he put in Ridley instead of Crowder, he would have won by even more. So it wasn't his best starting lineup, and yet he still put up a good score. And let's take a look at our Greensburg bench. Tyler Boyd would have been a nice addition instead of Adams or Schuster, but unfortunately, I don't think anyone would have done that, especially compared to the big names here. But that's what happens. It's not best ball. Will Fuller didn't meet expectations. Hines did not meet it. Tyrell Williams met expectations and would have been an improvement over Schuster. Mark Andrews actually had a better tight end game than what's his face, Disley. That was a career game for him. Marcus Mariota, retrospect, would have been a better pick. Justin Jackson, meh. And the Jets defense, which I don't know why you have. But, however, if he put in Mark Andrews instead of Hooper, he would have still lost. But it would have been a much closer game. However, if he put in Boyd and Andrews, he could have taken the win. But then again, the overall best team would have still won. So, either way, Moneymakers took this one 103.7 to Greensburg's 81.7. Up next, we got Pretty Boy Snow versus the Big Guys Gunners. This is the one where a lower score was able to take a win. Probably because of some big guys got hurt this week with some of these players due to injury. But which explains the low score of the week with a 56.7 against the 88.1, which is the lowest winning score of the week. So yeah, we had the lowest winning score versus the lowest overall. Up next, so let's go into the breakdown. Cam Newton. Cam Newton isn't turning out as good as everyone was hoping he would be. Saquon Barkley, number one pick, proven why he's the number one. Consistent, decent score. Austin Eckler. He's making the most of his time as a starter until Gordon decides to come back. Cooper Kupp beat his expectations. However, Deshaun Jackson put up the goose egg. Him and Jeffrey. The top two wide receivers of Philadelphia both went down. George Kittle. Decent score for a tight end, but not good enough for a number one or two tight end that he was drafted at. High expectations, decent score, but didn't meet it. Ravens didn't meet expectations, and Aldrick Rosas did not meet expectations on the Giants. And let's take a look at the MASH unit over here. Drew Brees out for 6 weeks, at least. Put up a negative 0.5 points for our lowest QB score of the season, I think. Starting QB score of the season. Alvin Kamara, even though Brees went down, they for some reason didn't put the ball in his hands as much. Then again, they were behind, so you got to go through the air. However, Aaron Jones put up a great game, so it kind of balances out. But yeah, against two great games, not so much. Mike Evans, all the Tampa Bay passes went to Conley this week, or not. I don't know. Went to the other wide receiver this week. I'm sorry, brain fart. All right, Allen Robinson, Chicago wide receiver, didn't meet expectations. David Njoku went down, so he put up a goose egg. Broncos defense, even though they held them to a lower point total, they didn't really do much. So only 3 points there. And Dustin Hopkins didn't meet expectations, but did beat out Rosas there. Let's take a look at our benches. Any improvements? Nope, not Freeman. Moncrief also put up a 0. Pettis, not good. Carr didn't beat a starter. Hill, not good. Thomas, not good. The defense would have been a nice improvement. And Randall Cobb could have gone in instead of Jackson. Actually, anyone could have gone in except Moncrief. Could have gone in instead of Jackson and gotten you a better score. Let's take a look at them. Well, we're going to see a lot more of Matt Stafford this week, and he did put up a decent score, so Next week should be a little better. Jason Witten, nice score for him. He finally is finding the end zone again. Last season, not so much. This season, he's starting to become a target again. Geronimo Allison would have been an improvement over both of them. Not by much, but an improvement. Adrian Peterson would have been better over Kamara, but if you started Peterson over Kamara, I would have considered you psychic or stupid. But in retrospect, would have been a better score. Breida, however, put up a great score. At least great for him in a committee. So yeah, he would have been a nice improvement over Kamara too, though. Wouldn't start him over that. But yeah, Ty Montgomery, meh. Jason Witten, good. Yep, and yep. Cortland Sutton. Sanders took all the receptions this week. But, yep. So either way, Pretty Boy Snow would have beaten the big guys Gunners regardless. But the score for this one was 88.1, 56.7. Final match of the week: Grumpy Groupies versus Erie Cucaracha Roach. This one was our closest match of the week. With Grumpy's, I think any players going in on Monday? Actually, no. He had a decent score. And anything over here? No. This one was actually decided relatively early, it looks like. So, but let's break it down. But yeah, Grumpy Groupies taking this one 101.7 to 109.3, a nail biter. But the Grump took his second win. All right, let's see what we got. Josh Allen beat expectations in Buffalo of all places. Ezekiel Elliott, definitely a top 5 running back, met expectations just about. LaShawn McCoy, not so much. Kenny Golladay taking advantage of Matt Stafford, going a little crazy, putting up 26.7, over doubling his score. T.Y. Hilton met expectations. Zach Ertz went a little above expectations, especially when both wide receivers go down. He's like the only main target left. Giants, not so good. Cairo Santos, just under expectations. Now, let's see the Erie. Russell Wilson put up a great quarterback score for him. Actually beat Josh Allen. Peyton Barber was a main force in their offense this week with a 15.9, doubling expectations. Giovanni Bernard, not so good. Even though Mixon went down last week, he got back into health enough to take the starter spot away from Bernard. So everyone who picked him up hoping for a great game was disappointed. DeAndre Hopkins did not explode like he did last week. Antonio Brown, first game where he's back, and he met expectations in that offensive onslaught. Vance McDonald, the main recipient of the Ben Roethlisberger season ender. Yeah, he dropped 22.8 points this week, which great score, but just not enough. 49ers defense beat expectations. Greg Zuerlein met expectations, I would say. So any bench players could have made up the difference. Kirk would have improved the score. Brown could have slightly improved the score. Burkhead, yep, could have been in over McCoy. Duke Johnson, not so much. He didn't have a good week this week. Amendola, crap. Case Keenum did not beat the top score, so it would have been like, I think, like 4 or 5 more points. Let's see. Edelman, slightly better than Hopkins. Winston, nope. Dion, nope. Stills, nope. Goddard, no. No. Let's see. Sproles, nope. And Davis, nope. And Dalton. Oh, he's got 2 backup quarterbacks. Dalton wouldn't have beaten the score. So, this was actually, I think, this was pretty much his best lineup. Slightly best lineup by, actually, no, he wasn't his best lineup by 0.2 of a point, it looks like. So, yeah, even putting anyone else in wouldn't have been enough to crack the base score. So, Grumpy had this one all the way down. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look and see who left the most. Let's see. All right. Our awards. Top score of the week, Shaggy Sharks, 195.1. And he took the largest margin of victory this week with over 125, with almost 125-point margin of victory. Actually, no, not 120. Actually, yeah, it is 125. I'm sorry. It's a long day. I'm tired. So yeah, a almost 125-point margin of victory for the Sharks over the Kryptonite. So he took that. He took our top score of the week. And yeah, top score of the week and top margin of victory of the week. Our lowest score of the week goes to the Big Guys Gunners, who got ravaged by the injury bug, where he only ended up with 56.7 points. I was afraid that I might have actually gotten the lowest score of the week after the Kryptonite took a 0.7 over 0.6. But thank you very much, big guy. Appreciate it. All right, and now let's see who left the most points on the bench. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 60 points. Let's see. Let's check this one. Nope. Parts unknown. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, 6. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're in the 70s, almost 80s here. 2, nope. So yeah, right now Parts Unknown has the most on the bench. Shaggy Sharks. Nope. 2, 3, nope. Yep. So Parts Unknown still in the lead. Nope. I can generally get an educated guess just by looking at the numbers themselves. It's the benefit of being a comp sci major and going into really high math classes. So 2, 4, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the 70s, so might actually have to calculate that out. Actually, no. Yeah, yep, we did just poke into the 80s there. So yeah, Greensburg Honor or Parts Unknown right now. Bench warmers, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. Take a look. Nope. All right, so let's get a little closer. Let's get a closer look into some of these. No, it wasn't Parts Unknown. It was someone else. So let's see. Actually, yeah, it was Parts Unknown. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 60 right there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 70 right there. 76, 81, 80. That pushes it to 82. That pushes it to around 83 points. And let's take a look at Greensburg here. So they got to beat 82 from an eyeballing. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That puts it into a 7. That puts it into a 7. Pushes it to 80. So we got and this one 88. All right, yep. Greensburg Honor, you definitely have the most points on the bench this week. Congratulations. Though, yeah, that might have actually, yeah, that would have if you were somehow able to put in all your bench players, you would have had a better score than your starters. Nice job. So you have the tough luck. You have the tough luck bench warmer loss. Let's see who had the lucky win this week. Pretty Boy Snow with our lowest winning score. Where let's see how many losing scores would have beaten you. 1 losing score. 2 losing scores would have beaten you. And our closest match of the week, Groupies versus Erie Cucaracha Roach, with a 1.4 point victory. Nice. Good job. And anything else that I'm forgetting? Largest, smallest, lowest score, lowest winning score, highest losing score. Where's our tough luck? Where's our tough luck loser? Which would be Erie Cucaracha Roach. He is our tough luck loser with our highest losing score of the week. A 109.3. That beats out Parts Unknown's 103.7. And yeah. So yeah, there you go. Those are our quick weekly awards. Let's take a look at our scoring leaders quick. Nope, that's kind of silly. Where is our scoreboard again? Standings. Here we go. Let's go right into our standings. After week 2, we have 4 teams that are still undefeated, with Shaggy Sharks, Planet Hulk World Breakers, Thylene Chubby, and Grumpy Groupies, all with 2 wins and no losses. Now let's see, who are our unlucky winless people? Greensburg Honor, Metropolis Kryptonite, Columbus Rebels, and Big Guys Gunners. They were unable to pick up any win this week. So, yeah, right now it looks like our strongest division is the Rowdies with the most wins out of all the teams there. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 wins versus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. 8-6. Our current points for leader, Shaggy Sharks, took the lead in terms of overall points over Planet Hulk. Points against. Who's our unlucky one that has been hit by the most points against them? Metropolis Kryptonite has, out of the 2 teams he's faced, he has faced 309.8 points. That is not fun. Division, home, away, streak, doesn't matter. Who has the most moves so far in the season? Grumpy Groupies has made 13 moves so far this season, while I have made 6. Thylene Chubby, 5. Eerie, 4. Kryptonite World Breakers, and Pretty Boy Snow, all with 3. Team Brooks and Big Guy with 2. Feeling Big Guy's going to make a few more moves this week with all the injuries. Shaggy Sharks, Parts Unknown, Greensburg, and Columbus all have made 1 move each. And the Moneymakers have gone so far with their entirely drafted team. Good job. Okay, let's see anything else fun in here. All right. If the season ended today, our playoff teams would be Shaggy Sharks earning a bye, Grumpy Groupies earning a bye, Planet Hulk versus Team Brooks, and Moneymakers versus Thylene Chubby. That is our current playoff bracket. That's if the season ended today. Final standing projections, according to ESPN. Final standing projections. This takes in all the moves that we made over the week, in addition to the wins and losses for this week as well. Shaggy Sharks still at number 1. Pretty Boy Snow dropped to 7th projected finish. Sniper's Edge, even with the loss this week, I'm still projected at 3rd. Yesterday, I actually predicted me to be number 1 for the end of the season because of the moves I made, but because of the loss, I'm still at 3rd. Thylene, however you pronounce it. I can never pronounce that guy's name. He has bumped up to a projected 2nd place finish. Greensburg Honor dropping from projected 5th to projected 11. At least compared to his draft day projection, he's dropped to 11th. Moneymaker went up. Metropolis went down to 12, from 7 to 12. Big Guy 8 to 9. Planet Hulk 9 to 4. Grumpy with the close win this week bumps himself up to a 6th projected finish. Parts Unknown 8th projected. Team Brooks 10th projected, and Erie and Columbus have not changed. Who's trending upwards? Planet Hulk had the largest jump of 5 spots. 5. Second with Grumpy with 4. Parts Unknown with 3. Trending down, we have Greensburg dropping 6 places projected. Metropolis dropping 5. Pretty Boy Snow also dropping 5. Yeah, I'm not sure why it has this for only my team and you have that, but whatever. Either way, I'm still comfortably at 3rd somehow, even with the loss. All right, our next week matchups. Take a look at next week. Next week, I have the fun. Oh, before I forget, who had the highest performing player this week? I'm leaning towards Patrick Mahomes with 39.6 at the starter, and yep, looks like that. 39.6. Anyone beating that? No. Our Patrick Mahomes taking the top score this week, along with Robinson right after him with 37. If you get the top 2 players of the week, chances are you're going to win. But yeah, what the hell's game lines? Oh, cool. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. All right, so our matchups for next week. We got Sniper's Edge versus the Shaggy Sharks. Shaggy Sharks projected to win by a margin of 8 points. We have Columbus Rebels versus Metropolis Kryptonite. Kryptonite slated to win with a 96, which actually looks like one of our lower winning projections. Cool. But that's still a 10-point margin in terms of the box, in terms of the line. Greensburg Honor versus Planet Hulk. Planet Hulk expected to win this one comfortably. Big Guys Gunners versus Parts Unknown. This one's looks to be a very close match of 101.1 to 99 projected. But Parts Unknown is projected to win this one. Erie Cucaracha Roach versus Team Brooks. This is projected to be our closest match of the week with a sub 1 point victory for Erie. 97.9 to 97.2. So this one can go either way. I wouldn't bet on this one. Thylene Chubby versus the Moneymakers Dollar Boys. With Thylene expected to take the win. And finally, we have Grumpy Groupies versus Pretty Boy Snow. Where let's take a look. The Groupies. Wow, the Groupies are actually have a higher projection to win, even though the line has it at Pretty Boy Snow. That's unusual. Okay, so that one, that one has a high. Apparently, that has a very high chance of volatility. So that should be fun. So let's just make sure I got everything good. Yeah, for some reason. But hey, congratulations for a grump there. So yeah, these are our matchups for next week. And start checking one more thing. Yep, who has our highest projected score for the week? 108. 5. The highest projected scoring matchup. Lucky me. It's Sniper's Edge Darkstalkers versus the Shaggy Sharks, with a 111.7 projected to a 119.9 projected scores. And who's projected to get the most points out of the league? It's probably going to be Mahomes. Yep, Mahomes projected to get the highest score of the week for Planet Hulk. So, yeah. All right. That is your Week 2 breakdown. For those who tuned in, thank you very much for watching. May the rolls ever be in your favor, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye now.